Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to showcase a really cool truck. This is Wyatt Jones, and this is his truck, PROJECTRADRUNNER. So, tell me a little bit about this truck. How long have you had it? What year is it?
It's a 2015. I got it in August of 2015, right when the 2016s were coming out. I actually wanted to make sure I got the 15 to get the 100,000 mile powertrain warranty.
Oh yeah, it's
they dropped it.
Yeah.
Not that that matters too much anymore. Plans have kind of changed
right,
since then.
Right.
Got it 2015.
So okay, clearly you've got a lot of stuff done in this truck. So where do you want to start? Let's see. So where did you get these fenders from?
Yeah, these fenders are done by Fiberworks. These were one-offs built off of this truck. So they sprayed foam over the fenders, hand sculpted them, took a mold, and then made a full set of fiberglass fenders for the front and the rear bedside.
How many inches wider are the fenders from stock?
They're 4.5 inches wider.
Front and rear, each 4.5 inches?
Correct.
Okay, very cool. So then, obviously, we got to talk about this tire right here.
Yes.
This is a 35-inch tire?
35 by 12.5 by 17 Falcon MT, wrapped on 17 by 8.5 method double standards. These wheels, there's only about 3 sets made for this truck that were custom drilled. Unfortunately, they no longer do that since they now offer a wheel that's spec'd to this specific vehicle.
So you can get a method wheel now, not this exact design, but Method now comes out with a wheel that fits these trucks.
Exactly, the Method grids.
The Method grids. Okay, very cool. So moving on now to these the suspension components right here. What do we got going? There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, so this is Baja Kit's what they call pre-runner kit.
Okay.
It's 2.5 inches wider from factory. It includes the upper control arms, the lower control arms, longer axles. You have the option to run the OE coilover, and then so you have the OE coilover, and you can get a custom length shock, which is what I have here. So this is 1 inch longer shock than the OE, so you get more travel and better stability because it's actually pushed out farther. And then a 2.5 inch triple bypass, kind of as a secondary shock, to provide better dampening and better control over position sensitive dampening.
Very cool, very cool. So moving on to the rear. So what have you got done here in the rear?
So the rear right now has the OE King shock.
Okay.
It has the Deaver mini packs, which replace the overload spring, kind of the big thick bar that's sitting on the bottom. You take that out and you replace it with a 3-pack leaf. He kind of reduces the bucking a bit. This whole rear end is going to get changed here in the next few weeks.
Okay.
I'm going to a full Deaver spring underpack.
Yeah.
And going to keep this shock for now, but once I get everything dialed in with the spring under and the hydro bump stops, it's going to go through the bed with this kind of low profile bed cage. And
okay.
A triple bypass in the rear.
Wow, that's gonna be awesome. So we've got a lot going on here in the bed.
Yes.
What is this setup that you have right here?
So this is a custom bed rack built by Evo Manufacturing in La Habra, and they integrated a high lift jack mount welded into the whole structure. I've got Baja Designs perimeter lighting. This here is the dust light, and then we have just the side lighting with a Free Spirit Recreation medium-sized tent on the top. So the cage or the bed rack is all TIG welded. It's a TIG welded only shop. I had them do removable crossbars so that I can leave the rack on but still take the tent off if I need to fit any larger objects in the truck. The full bed is Linexed. So the bed has full Linexed. So they wrapped all the way back to the lights. I actually prefer the Linux over the OE just because it doesn't have the big logo in the back. Eventually I'll have roto packs mounted up against the bed here. And then this tailgate is going to be replaced with a Wilco tire gate here. And next week they should have it completed. So that'll hold the 35 at an angle out of the tailgate of the truck.
So it looks like we have some modifications going to the front end. Are you going to be doing a different bumper on this?
Yes, actually I'm going to be trimming this bumper along this body line here. I'm going to go with a full valance with a full skid plate that goes all the way under the truck that's integrated into the bumper. It will replace the front skid, super skids, but I will be going to, I will still be using the oil pan and back skids.
Okay, very cool.
So those will still be integrated into the
yeah, so you have the super skids that go all the way front to rear.
Yeah, I have everything they make currently, so it goes all the way from the front to the transfer case.
Very cool. So you were telling me earlier that you are going to sorry again. So you were telling me earlier that you're going to get this truck wrapped?
Yeah, so I'm actually prepping it right now. Wrap starts later today. It's going to be a satin white, so everything will, you know, from everything but the roof is going to remain black. That's already been wrapped. The rest of the truck will be a satin white with graphics along the side of the truck for SEMA.
Very cool. And what booth is this going to be in at SEMA?
This will be at the Dirty Life Wheels booth.
Okay.
So they actually have an all-new wheel that they're coming out for these trucks. I haven't even seen them yet. I saw them yesterday, and they kind of wanted to leave it as a surprise on what it'll be out. But they're super excited about it. They're going to have a beadlock option, and then one with just a rash guard as well.
Very cool, very cool. So now let's talk a little bit about these. I've noticed these pods here that you have. Let's talk a little bit about these.
Yeah, so these pods, they're held on by alternative off-road hood brackets, nice and beefy. And then the lights themselves are Baja Design Squadron Pros. So they put out a crazy amount of light.
And how do you have them run to the cab?
I'm currently using the S-Pod SE.
Let's take a look at those.
With the HD panel. So you have the touch, the physical pad. I know they have a touch screen, but I was a little leery on touching a touch screen while bouncing off road, so yeah. I wanted to have the physical panel.
So you can actually feel the buttons and you know exactly what you're touching.
Precisely. And this actually also has Bluetooth built into it.
Okay.
So that I could control it from my phone as well. So say if I'm camping outside and I just want to turn the light on, I can pop the app open on my phone and turn on whatever lights I'd like.
And so you have, how many pods do you have right now? You've got the two in the front.
Two in the front, and I have one on each corner of the beds. So
okay, so this one here, and then
this here I use as a dust light. So
okay.
When I'm kicking up dust, the people behind me can see where I'm at.
Oh, so it's like a safety feature.
Exactly.
Now, does that, if you technically, when you go off-roading, does that replace a flag, or do you still, like, let's say you're out in the dunes, and would you still have to have a flag?
In the dunes, I would still have to have a flag. Correct?
Okay.
This is more for kind of the dusty dirt, desert trail riding. Just so if I do have to come to an emergency stop,
okay,
behind me can still see.
Very cool.
See where I'm at.
So you were telling me that you have a new intake on this. So you got a new intake?
Yes, I'm currently running the Volant intake. So this is a closed box system because I wanted to keep the dust to a minimum.
Yeah.
Versus the K&N I had before was an open box. I mean, it performed well. But it just got extremely dirty, extremely fast, just with the amount of off-roading I do.
Yeah, you can tell this engine bay is a little filthy, but that's the way it's supposed to look if you're gonna have a badass truck like this.
Absolutely. And then I do also got an upgraded Odyssey battery. So this is an AGM battery. This is actually the diesel spec.
Oh, okay.
Battery, so it's much larger than the factory V6 battery that comes in.
Yeah.
So just so I have longer run time on any of my accessories.
Right, helps with
having to really run a full secondary battery.
Yeah, it helps to run with and this is the controller for the S-Pod?
Correct, and this has a low voltage cutoff as well. I have to look up the exact spec at what voltage it turns off, but if I were to accidentally leave a light on or anything like that, it'll cut the power before my battery gets to below starting voltage level.
Okay, and then you ran the wires over through
just next to the brake drum there.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, so that puts you out right underneath the steering column?
Correct, on the inside of the cab.
Inside of the cab. So as far as stock headlights, you didn't do the Gen 5 DRL relocation yet? You're still running all factory headlights?
Yeah, just completely factory up as far as the headlights and fog lights.
Okay.
Haven't really needed to do too much to it yet. I did have a race radio installed.
Is it in there now, or?
Yes.
Let's take a look at that. So you got a race radio installed?
Yeah, so I have a PCI Icon race radio installed here in the center console with an external speaker here, so I can leave my console closed.
Okay.
Ran the antenna, so the antenna goes down through the side here, up here, and it's actually into the roof.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So it's actually it's in the roof, and so you can where is it? Is it? Can you see it, or is it?
Yes, it's drilled in. So it's actually right here. I have it off right now, so I can go through parking structures. But
oh, how tall does it?
4-foot antenna. I can screw it on real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the antenna that. So this is huge for communications when on the trail.
Yeah.
So this is the antenna built straight through the roof.
Yeah, that is definitely pretty long. So yeah, I understand why you have that taken off when you want to be just driving around town.
Yeah, it's a 50-watt radio too, so I think I've gotten up to about 25-mile range.
Oh wow.
As far as communications.
Very cool. So when you go off-roading, typically how many trucks do you go with?
We try not to go over 6.
Okay.
Just because we don't want trails to get packed. You know, if you have oncoming traffic and they have to pass 10, 15, 20 vehicles, it can be quite annoying.
Right.
And you don't want to do too much damage to the trail by having that many vehicles all in one.
Yeah.
It just takes way longer to get through anything as well.
Now, have you taken this thing in snow yet?
I have taken it in snow. I had the Falcon ATW3s.
Uh-huh.
I did up in Big Bear, and it performed just fine. I just put it in 4-wheel, and went wherever I pointed it to go. So.
Very cool. So you're taking this truck to SEMA. You already said earlier it's going to be in, what booth is it going to be again?
Dirty Life Wheels.
Dirty Life Wheels. So what's your plans for SEMA? Are you going to go with the truck, or is the truck going on? They're taking the truck up there?
I'll be dropping the truck off the weekend before.
Okay.
I don't have the entire week off of work, so I'll be headed back home and come back up on Thursday through Saturday, or Thursday through Sunday.
Okay. So on Saturday, that's when you'll be. So SEMA ends on Thursday. So Friday you'll pick the truck back up.
I believe it's actually Saturday.
Yeah. But so when after you pick the truck back up, Vegas is where I'm from, so I'm gonna be at SEMA too, shooting all kinds of videos. We're gonna be able to take this thing off road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you hit any trails out in Vegas yet?
I have not.
So it'll be the first time for that.
Yeah.
So I know a couple trails. We're gonna take this truck out. We're gonna do a proper off-road video with this truck. We just kind of want to do a walk around, kind of show you, how everything that's been done to the truck so far, and then we're going to do another video off-road that's going to be pretty fun. I think I got a buddy of mine that's got a Baja kit set up on his Canyon. We're going to take that out.
Okay.
We'll take out the stock Duramax over there, just to kind of see the difference between it's going to be a huge difference between this truck and the stock Duramax. I might actually just be in the back, and so anyway, it's a cool video. We'll make a cool video with that. But where can we find you on Instagram? Are you on Instagram?
Yes, at PROJECTRADRUNNER.
Project Rad Runner on Instagram. So we're gonna put a link in the description below, so you guys can go follow this his build here. And yeah, awesome truck, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for letting me film. And I'm looking forward to, in about 3 weeks, taking this thing off road and seeing what it can do.
Let's do it.
All right, thanks again, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. See you next time.